Start with silence, then gradually build curiosity and wonder. The ocean, the cradle of life, keeper of this planet's most ancient secrets. Look out into the distance, where the horizon slices the world into two distinct realms. Above is the sky, the kingdom of wind and wings. Below is the blue abyss, the dominion of pressure and currents. For millions of years, this order seemed immutable. Fish must swim and birds must fly. That is the harsh, unyielding law of nature. But nature, in her magnificent improvisation and artistic grandeur, never accepts monotony. In the tropical seas, where sunlight pierces through water as clear as crystal, a creature has silently executed a biological revolution spanning millennia. They refuse the destiny of bowing before gravity. They yearn for the sky. They are the rebels wearing silver wings. They are the flying fish. Observe this creature closely. A solitary flying fish drifting lazily in the current. At first glance, it appears fragile, almost delicate. But do not be deceived by this facade. This body is the crystallization of millions of years of brutal evolution. Belonging to the family Exocoetidae, a name derived from Greek meaning those who sleep outside the shore, they carry within them a physical structure perfect down to the millimeter. Their shape is elongated like a living torpedo, optimized to slice through the water with near-zero resistance. The cobalt blue scales on their backs allow them to blend into the deep sea color when viewed from above, while their silver-white bellies help them vanish against the sun's glare when viewed from below. This is the art of countershading, an invisibility cloak that helps them survive amidst the hungry eyes of the ocean. But the true miracle, the masterpiece of biological engineering, lies in the pectoral fins. When closed, they tuck neatly against the body, but when unfurled, they are breathtaking. Those fins are massive, taking up a huge proportion of the body, supported by a fan-like skeletal system that is rigid yet elastic. They function precisely like the wings of a jet aircraft, strictly adhering to Bernoulli's principles of aerodynamics, allowing them to generate lift from even the most fickle sea breezes. Some more advanced species even possess developed pelvic fins, transforming them into biological, four-winged biplanes. This evolution is not a random gift. It is life's defiant answer to the crushing pressures of survival. Their home is the warm waters, where the temperature rarely drops below 20 degrees Celsius. They are the children of the sun, present in every sea from the rolling Atlantic and the mysterious Indian Ocean to the vast Pacific. They are not solitary creatures. The flying fish understands that in this immense ocean, solitude is a death sentence. They gather in massive schools, tens of thousands strong, moving like a river of silver flowing within the sea itself. The unity of the school is the first shield protecting them against a world full of peril. But the bustling activity beneath. As the sun slowly sinks into the seabed, dragging the last rays of light into oblivion, the ocean completely changes its countenance. The jade green of the day gives way to deep purple, and then pitch black. This is when the human world falls into slumber, but it is when the ocean truly awakens. And the journey of the flying fish begins in earnest. We often mistake flying fish for creatures of the light because we see them soaring by day. But in truth, they are the hunters of the night. Listen to the sound of the waves. Beneath the black velvet curtain of the night sea, a magnificent phenomenon is taking place: the vertical migration. Billions upon billions of plankton, tiny shrimp, and larvae from depths of hundreds of meters, where light cannot reach, begin their journey rising to the surface to feed. This is the largest biological migration on the planet, occurring silently every single night. And the school of flying fish, with instincts honed over thousands of generations, is waiting. The eyes of the flying fish are large and round, dominating a significant portion of their head. Their specialized retinas allow them to capture the faintest rays of light. Under the silvery moonlight or the ghostly green glow of bioluminescence stirred up by the waves, the feast begins. They swim right against the surface, mouths agape, gills flared wide to filter the abundant nutrition. They glide through the darkness, riding the warm currents like the Kuroshio or the Gulf Stream. These currents are not just superhighways guiding their path, they are rivers of nutrition, carrying food across the planet. The life of a flying fish is the life of an eternal nomad. They have no rocky caves for shelter, no fixed territory to defend. Their home is wherever the current takes them. But the darkness provides more than just food. It also conceals threats. The concentration of millions of fish creates vibrations in the water, low-frequency sound waves traveling for miles. To the apex predators, this is a dinner bell. In the pitch-black night, the flying fish must rely on their lateral line, a sensory organ running along their body, to detect changes in water pressure. An erratic thrash of a neighbor, a sudden disturbance in the flow, all are warning signals. They eat in a state of extreme vigilance. A lavish feast always comes with a price. Here, life and death are separated by a mere fraction of a second. Danger and the mechanics of flight. Dawn, the most glorious moment on the sea, is also the moment the protective cloak of night is torn away. Light floods in, illuminating every corner, exposing every hiding place. And the nightmare of the flying fish officially begins. They occupy a position that is high value, but utterly tragic in the food chain. Medium-sized, rich in protein and fat, they are the gift God prepared for the ocean's most perfect killing machines. From the deep abyss, the ghosts begin to materialize. They are the yellowfin tuna, muscular missiles with warm blood coursing through their veins, allowing them to swim without fatigue. They are the swordfish, with pointed bills ready to pierce any formation. And most terrifying of all, the mahi-mahi, also known as the dolphin fish. When excited by the hunt, the mahi-mahi's body flashes wildly from blue to brilliant gold. They are the fastest, most aggressive fish in the surface layer, reaching speeds of up to 90 kilometers per hour. Panic seizes the school. The fragile piece shatters. Underwater, they cannot match the speed of these predators. Dive deep? That is suicide, for that is the enemy's domain. Swim left or right? The encirclement has already tightened. There remains only one path to salvation, a path nature opens specifically for them. Not in the water, but in the sky. Hold your breath to witness this moment. A flying fish summons every ounce of its strength, aiming its nose at the surface. Its body coils, storing energy like a compressed spring. Burst! It shatters the surface tension. But it does not fly immediately. Its tail, the lower lobe longer than the upper, remains in the water. It beats its tail furiously, 70 times per second. The sound of water tearing apart is like ripping canvas. This is the taxiing phase. Tremendous thrust is generated, pushing its velocity to 60 kilometers per hour, equal to a high-speed speedboat. And then, liftoff. The pectoral fins snap open to catch the wind. Lift is achieved. It separates completely from the water. In that second, it is no longer a fish, it is a bird. It glides proudly over the crests of the waves, leaving the razor-sharp teeth of the enemy snapping at empty air behind it. A single flight can last 45 seconds, covering a distance of 400 meters, longer than a sports stadium. But oh, how ironic and cruel nature can be. Just as the flying fish thinks it has touched freedom, the sky delivers a fatal blow. High above, the keen eyes of frigate birds and albatrosses have been waiting. The frigate bird cannot land on water because its feathers are not waterproof. It must hunt on the wing. And the leap of the flying fish is the golden opportunity they crave. The scene now transforms into one of nature's most chaotic and tragic tableaus. Below, the leopards chase. Above, the eagles dive. The flying fish hangs suspended in mid-air, unable to change direction, becoming a motionless target of despair. Trapped between two lines of fire, jaws below and talons above. Every takeoff is a gamble with the reaper. Only the strongest, those with the most precise timing, can splash down safely and continue the eternal escape. Focusing on hope, philosophy, and the cycle of life. When the sun stands high overhead, the brutal hunt temporarily subsides. The survivors return to their normal rhythm, bearing scars, medals of their courage. But the ultimate purpose of survival is not merely to exist for oneself, but to continue the bloodline, to leave a legacy for the ages to come. The breeding season arrives. In this boundless ocean with no shore in sight, no rocky crevices for shelter, the flying fish faces a monumental challenge. Where is a safe place for the seeds of the future? Their eggs are heavier than water. If released, they would sink into the cold abyss and die. Once again, the wisdom of evolution shines. The flying fish seeks out floating rafts. These might be mats of golden sargassum seaweed bobbing on the waves, a piece of driftwood from a distant land, a dry coconut, or even, heartbreakingly, floating plastic debris discarded by humans. The female flying fish releases long strands of eggs, highly adhesive, which wrap tightly around these floating objects. The seaweed and driftwood suddenly become mobile nurseries, drifting with the currents across the oceans. The eggs are cleverly camouflaged, blending into the color of the seaweed, cradled by the waves and incubated by the sunlight. From those tiny eggs, a new generation is born. When they first hatch, the baby flying fish look nothing like their parents. They are tiny as a fingertip, sporting vibrant colors and strange shapes to mimic sea flowers or bits of vegetation, deceiving the vision of enemies. They grow day by day, feeding on microscopic life, and then instinct takes over. They begin to practice their first tail beats. They learn to feel the wind direction. They attempt their first clumsy leaps over the waves. The lifespan of a flying fish is short, averaging a mere 5 years. 5 years of breathless escapes, 5 years of tireless flights. But within that brief span, they live a life that is full and brilliant. They do not choose to hide in the mud, they choose to face the wind and the sky. This generation falls, becoming food for the birds of the sky and the fish of the sea, so that the next generation may rise. It is the great reincarnation, the endless circle of Mother Nature. The ocean has rolled its waves for thousands of years just so, indifferent yet embracing. And the flying fish remains there as a living symbol of the thirst for freedom. Their story reminds us of a profound philosophy. Limits are boundaries we place upon ourselves. When the environment becomes harsh, do not merely bow your head and endure. Find a way to change. If the water is too crowded and full of danger, be brave enough to tear through it and reach for the sky. Under the blazing red sunset of the day's end, the school of flying fish takes flight in unison, glittering like gold leaf, slicing across the face of the setting sun. A dance on the boundary of two worlds, an epic and heroic song of life. That is the story of the wings of the ocean, the dreamers who never accept their fate. And that dance will continue forever, along with the sound of the eternal ocean.